Ethan and Maya hadn't seen each other since high school. When Maya spotted Ethan on the street, she called out hesitantly, "Ethan. Is that really you?" He looked up, surprised, his face weathered but eyes familiar. "Maya? Wow, it's been years." She smiled warmly. "How many years? Feels like forever." Ethan shrugged. "Yeah, about 10, maybe more." They exchanged small talk, and Ethan admitted he had nowhere to go, having slept on the streets last night. Just then, a sharply dressed man beside Maya scowled. "Is that your ex?" "Ethan, you need to leave." Maya tried to calm things down. "Come on, let's go or we'll miss the concert." She glanced at Ethan, whispering, "Take care of yourself." Later, Cameron yelled, "That homeless freak stole my wallet." The man insisted, "What are you saying?" She turned, surprised. "What?" Ethan would never. Just then, Ethan reappeared holding the wallet. "I found it. Here." Maya took it, stunned. The man demanded, "Where's the $200? Ethan insisted he took nothing. Maya intervened, defending Ethan as a good man who might be hungry but honest, suggesting the man hire him. He scoffed, "Over my dead body." Maya said, "People deserve kindness. If you want his job, find some heart." The man grumbled about Ethan needing a shower, but agreed to give him money. Ethan gratefully accepted, and Maya invited him to the office the next day. When Ethan asked why she helped, Maya replied, "We all have bad times, but that doesn't make us bad people." The next day at the office, Maya introduced Ethan to her colleagues, assigning him to assist with basic tasks. Some staff mocked him, but Maya stood by his side. Meanwhile, her fiancé, Cameron, grew impatient, complaining about minor frustrations, unaware of Ethan's presence. Cameron gave Maya a suspicious gift, a bottle she suspected was poisoned. He joked, but she was wary. At the office, Maya discovered missing money and accused Ethan, but he insisted innocence, accusing Cameron instead. Maya and Ethan searched Cameron's locker, uncovering hidden cash and evidence. Cameron tried to deny it but finally opened his desk, revealing incriminating documents. Furious, Maya called the police, and Cameron was arrested for fraud. Ethan explained his past homelessness, expressing gratitude for Maya's belief in him. Maya admitted she still saw the good man she knew from school. Together, they began rebuilding lives, proving people can change when given a chance. Over the following weeks, Ethan settled into his new role at the office, gradually gaining confidence. Despite the occasional sneer or whispered comment from some employees, he remained focused on proving himself worthy of the chance Maya had given him. Each morning, he arrived early, ready to tackle whatever tasks were assigned. He cleaned, organized files, and learned quickly. Maya often caught him studying late into the evening, trying to understand the complex world he'd been shut out of for so long. Their bond grew stronger, built on trust and mutual respect. At night, Ethan would lie awake, haunted by memories of cold streets and lonely nights, but Maya's support gave him hope. She encouraged him to attend classes and workshops to rebuild skills lost to years of hardship. The nonprofit Maya's late father had dreamed of began to take shape, fueled by their passion and shared vision. Together, they planned programs to help others like Ethan, those forgotten by society but still yearning for a fresh start. Donations started coming in, small at first, then steadily growing. The media caught wind of Ethan's story, a homeless man turned office assistant who exposed fraud and helped bring justice. The attention was overwhelming but necessary. Suddenly, Ethan was not just a survivor, but a symbol of resilience and redemption. One cold evening, a young teenager named Caleb wandered into the shelter they had established. His clothes were threadbare, and his eyes carried the weight of years no child should bear. Ethan saw himself in Caleb and took him under his wing, sharing stories of hope and survival. Meanwhile, Maya worked tirelessly, negotiating with city officials to secure more funding and expand their reach. The couple's commitment never wavered, even as challenges arose. Rumors surfaced, trying to discredit Ethan's past, but Maya stood firm, defending him publicly. She reminded everyone that everyone deserves a second chance and that Ethan's story was proof. Their work transformed lives, built on a foundation of forgiveness, courage, and unshakable belief in human dignity. Months passed, and Ethan's life began to change in ways he never imagined. The nonprofit grew from a small shelter to a community hub where people learned skills, found jobs, and healed broken spirits. He often stood at the entrance, greeting new arrivals with a kind smile, knowing what it felt like to be lost and unseen. Maya remained his unwavering supporter, managing the day-to-day operations and championing their cause. Their relationship deepened beyond friendship into something more profound, a connection forged through shared struggle and triumph. But the road wasn't easy. Some nights, Ethan wrestled with memories that refused to fade. Flashbacks of cold nights, hunger, and rejection sometimes pulled him into dark places. Maya would find him restless and bring him back with gentle words and a steady hand. Together, they faced those demons, refusing to let the past define their future. The media attention brought both praise and scrutiny. Some questioned whether Ethan's past made him a suitable role model. But he welcomed those challenges as fuel to work harder and prove that transformation was possible. One day, the local government invited them to present their program. Standing before a crowd of officials and philanthropists, Ethan spoke openly about his journey, from a homeless boy to a man with a mission. Maya watched with pride as he shared the vision that had once seemed impossible. Afterward, offers of support flooded in, allowing them to open a second center dedicated to helping youth aging out of foster care. This was their true passion, creating a safety net where none existed. On quieter days, Ethan and Maya would walk through the center, seeing smiles on faces that once held fear and despair. Each success story was a victory, proof that kindness and opportunity could change lives. But just as they began to feel secure, a shadow from Maya's past re-emerged, someone intent on undermining their work and tearing their fragile world apart. The battle ahead would test their faith, their strength, and the very bond that held them together. As the days grew busier, Ethan and Maya's work became more demanding. The nonprofit blossomed into a lifeline for hundreds, but with growth came new challenges. Maya's ex-fiancé, Cameron, a powerful businessman with a shady past, resurfaced determined to reclaim control over the company Maya had inherited from her late father. Cameron had always resented Maya's independence and saw Ethan as an obstacle to his plans. Behind closed doors, he schemed to sabotage the organization by spreading false rumors about Ethan's past and questioning Maya's leadership. The whispers grew louder, threatening to unravel everything they had built. Maya refused to be intimidated. She confronted Cameron publicly, exposing his deceit to the board and community. Ethan stood beside her, his own story now a shield against the attacks. Together, they weathered the storm, but the strain was undeniable. One evening, after a particularly harsh day, Ethan found Maya sitting alone in the empty shelter, tears silently tracing her cheeks. He took her hand gently and promised, "We'll get through this. We've come too far to let anyone break us now." Their bond strengthened, forged in adversity and hope. Meanwhile, the youth programs flourished. Teens like Caleb, once lost and hopeless, began to thrive under the care and guidance of the center. Watching them graduate, find jobs, and build futures reminded Ethan and Maya why they fought so hard. But Cameron's tactics escalated. He manipulated city officials to cut funding and pressured donors to withdraw support. At the same time, he hired private investigators to dig into Ethan's past, hoping to find dirt. Yet all they uncovered was the truth of a man who had risen from nothing with honesty and determination. The community rallied behind Ethan and Maya, inspired by their resilience. Volunteers poured in, local businesses offered support, and the media shifted its focus to the positive impact of their work. In the midst of the battle, Ethan and Maya found moments of peace. On quiet nights, they would sit beneath the stars, dreaming of the future they were building together. A future where no one would ever feel abandoned or invisible again. Though the fight was far from over, they faced it united, knowing that kindness and courage could overcome even the darkest of shadows. The following months tested Ethan and Maya more than ever. Cameron's relentless campaign to dismantle the nonprofit stretched them thin emotionally and financially. Yet, in the face of adversity, the community's support only grew stronger. Former beneficiaries of the shelter began volunteering, sharing their stories and spreading hope. Maya and Ethan worked tirelessly, holding fundraising events, reaching out to donors, and reinforcing their programs. One afternoon, Ethan received a call from Caleb, the young boy he had taken under his wing. Caleb was excited, having landed his first part-time job at a local cafe, a milestone that seemed impossible just months before. Ethan's heart swelled with pride. But not all moments were joyous. Maya faced an unexpected betrayal when a trusted board member sided with Cameron, forcing her to reevaluate whom she could truly rely on. Despite this, Maya remained steadfast, drawing strength from Ethan and the growing family they were building. Late one night, as they pored over budget reports, Maya admitted her fears. "Sometimes, I wonder if all this is worth it. The fights, the sacrifices." Ethan looked into her eyes and said softly, "It is. Because what we're doing saves lives. And we're doing it together." Their love deepened, fueled by shared purpose and the hardships they faced side by side. Slowly but surely, the tide began to turn. Cameron's influence waned as evidence of his wrongdoing surfaced, thanks to Ethan's courage in gathering proof and standing up to intimidation. The city restored funding, donors returned, and the nonprofit thrived anew. More importantly, lives were being changed daily. People once forgotten now had hope and a future. On a crisp autumn evening, Maya and Ethan celebrated their first anniversary since starting the nonprofit. Surrounded by friends, former residents, and supporters, they toasted not just their love but the power of second chances. In that moment, Ethan realized the journey had transformed him completely, from a man haunted by homelessness to a beacon of hope for so many. And through it all, Maya's unwavering belief had been his guiding light. Winter arrived, and with it came new challenges and opportunities. The nonprofit opened a new housing program aimed at helping young adults transition from the shelter to independent living. Ethan worked closely with the residents, offering guidance, listening to their fears, and celebrating their victories. One evening, as snow gently fell outside, Maya found Ethan teaching a young woman how to budget her paycheck. The warmth in the room contrasted sharply with the cold world outside. Maya knew their mission was making a real difference. Yet, the ghosts of the past still lingered. Cameron, now facing legal troubles, attempted one last desperate move to discredit Ethan by leaking false rumors to the press. The community, however, stood firm, defending the man who had given them hope and a future. Maya and Ethan responded with transparency, holding an open forum where former residents shared their stories firsthand. The media coverage shifted once again, this time celebrating the nonprofit's successes and the resilience of its leaders. One night, after a long day, Ethan and Maya sat quietly by the fireplace in the shelter's common room. They reflected on their journey, how a chance encounter on the street had blossomed into a partnership that changed countless lives. Maya smiled and said, "We're proof that kindness can change the world." Ethan nodded, squeezing her hand. "And we're just getting started." Their love story intertwined with their mission, both fueled by hope, compassion, and the unwavering belief that everyone deserves a second chance. As winter gave way to spring, the nonprofit continued to expand, reaching more communities, more lives. And through every challenge, Ethan and Maya remained steadfast, a testament to the power of faith, love, and the human spirit. Spring brought fresh energy and new faces to the nonprofit. Ethan and Maya worked tirelessly to launch a mentorship program pairing former residents with community leaders and professionals. The idea was simple but powerful: create a cycle of giving back and opportunity. Among the new participants was a young woman named Lisa, who had once struggled with addiction and homelessness. Under Ethan's mentorship, she found stability and a job in a local bookstore. Watching Lisa bloom reminded Ethan of his own journey, and he felt a deep sense of fulfillment. Meanwhile, Maya secured a grant to expand their educational workshops, focusing on financial literacy, job readiness, and emotional resilience. The community rallied behind them, offering donations, volunteer hours, and unwavering encouragement. But even as their work flourished, personal challenges surfaced. Maya's health began to decline, a secret she kept hidden to avoid worrying Ethan and the team. One afternoon, after a particularly exhausting board meeting, she collapsed at the office. Ethan rushed her to the hospital, fear gripping his heart. Tests revealed she was suffering from a chronic illness that would require ongoing treatment. The news shook them both, but it only strengthened their resolve. Together, they faced the new challenge, determined not to let it derail their mission. Ethan took on more responsibilities, and Maya focused on recovery while continuing to lead in smaller ways. The community showed overwhelming support, organizing fundraisers and check-ins to lighten their load. Their story became one not only of redemption and hope but also of perseverance in the face of unexpected hardship. Through it all, Ethan and Maya's bond deepened, built on trust, love, and the unwavering belief that together, they could overcome anything. The nonprofit thrived, a beacon of light for those who needed it most, fueled by the courage and heart of two people who refused to give up. As Maya's health improved with treatment, Ethan became her constant support, balancing his increasing duties at the nonprofit with caring for her. Their love and commitment to the cause inspired everyone around them. The mentorship program grew stronger, producing success stories that spread hope throughout the community. One day, a local journalist came to interview Ethan and Maya about their work and their personal journey. The story was published nationwide, shining a spotlight on their nonprofit and its transformative impact. Donations poured in, allowing them to expand services and open a second location. Yet, despite the growing success, Ethan and Maya remained grounded, never forgetting the struggles that brought them together. They spent evenings planning new initiatives, dreaming of a future where homelessness was no longer a barrier but a chapter overcome. During this time, Caleb, the teenager Ethan had first helped, graduated high school with honors and enrolled in college. His success was a testament to the power of second chances and the nonprofit's mission. Maya watched with pride as Ethan spoke at community events, sharing his story to inspire others. Their journey was far from over, but with every life change, they knew they were making a difference. Together, they continued to fight for those without voices, proving that kindness, faith, and perseverance could rewrite even the hardest stories. Their love, tested by hardship and time, remained their strongest foundation, an unbreakable bond lighting the way forward.